Girls, it is time. We need to get up. It's time to glow up, but we're not going to burn ourselves out doing it because that's not what we do here at Cozy and Thriving. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cozy and Thriving. I'm your host, Michaela, and this is the podcast where we just learn to build a life that we actually want to be present for. I am actually so excited about today. I literally say that every time, and then I say that every time, every single time. So I need to rewire that in my brain because I literally say it every single time. But I really am excited. Like, I love my podcast, and I just found out so many cool stats and everything today about my podcast and about my business and everything. And I think that it's just so cool. So I'm just like on a high. But I am sitting in a new location. If you guys have been listening to Cozy and Thriving or watching Cozy and Thriving for a while now, you know that one location is just not me. I can never. I literally am like, oh, this is the perfect spot. I'm staying here. This is the perfect angle. I'm using that. This is the perfect lighting. I'm using that. And to be honest, I like it for a little bit, but I love to change things around. I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's my podcast. It's okay that I get to that I get to change it. Like, it's mine. I'm at home and I like to be cozy and I like my things to look good and like I like to explore things, so it's fine. Like, I can do it. So I did it. But I actually made this setup for a UGC video that I had to make, and I was like, I like it. So I kept it. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I love it. I love how it looks. We have a new mic. Okay, I'm so excited about that as well. So hopefully, I don't know, the audio may sound the same as my last mic, but this is the mic that I have been wanting since I started podcasting. So the fact that we have her is just beautiful. It's actually beautiful. So before I get into the glow up, I want to talk about some like life changes, some life updates for myself. Number one, I got my wisdom teeth out. At the time of recording this, like a week ago, at the time of it being out, it should be like 2 weeks. So if you see me do anything weird with my mouth or I sound a little bit different or whatever, that's why. I actually did not get like blown up like some people said. I was looking at TikTok videos, which I highly do not recommend. It was grossing me out that people were recording themselves in that state because I was like, oh my gosh. But I never got like, you know, my face never got swollen and all the things. So like I'm good. But it does feel weird that there's nothing there. So just wanted to put that out as a disclaimer. The second thing is that I'm growing 1008, which is my business. And for those of you who have no idea about me or what I do, I am a full-time freelancer. I also am now making income from my podcast, so like part-time podcast and like all this other stuff regarding content is what I do. That is my livelihood. That is what I do for work. And I started my business last year around the same time that I started my podcast. My podcast I started January 26th. That was the very first upload date of 2025. And my business, I'm pretty sure that I got my first client in February. So we are coming up like on a year of podcasting and business and everything. And I just have so many plans for the podcast. And like one of them I already implemented, which is the subscription where you guys can get 2 extra episodes from me a month here on Spotify. And I'm still working on Apple. But then there's just other things that I want to do for the podcast and other things I want to do for my business. And the reason that I bring that up is because I am an editor. I edit for content creators. And then I also am implementing social media management this year. I'm so like kind of nervous about that, but also excited. So I'm putting that out there because I wanted to let you guys know if you are needing an editor or wanting a social media manager or want some UGC content done, like, hey, I'm your girl. Okay. I just wanted to put that out there because I'm just excited about it. And I think that, you know, what better like way to promote is like to my community and people who are already following me. So I'll put all the information down in the description for that. But that's a little bit of updates from me and my business. And now that we have talked about that, let's get into 28 Cozy, which I'm so excited about. This is our glow up plan. I am doing 5 things, 5 habits that are I'm hoping will change my life for the better, and they're so simple, so easy, so little, and I wanna go into them with you, and yeah, I've been watching, like, so many creators do these types of things for their communities, and I think that a lot of them stem from 75 Hard. I personally have never done 75 Hard because I thought it was too hard. But I think that, some people who have done it love it, but I always liked the idea of like coming up with your own and really focusing on the things that you want to focus on for your life. And so when I created 28 Cozy, it didn't really have a name. I was just like, these are the habits that I'm going to do. But then I was like, you know what? I should bring this to my community and like we should do it together. And the reason why I named it 28 is because there's 28 days in February, and that's like when we're gonna start. But my whole goal for this 28 Cozy is to be sustainable forever. Like these are things that you can actually do every single day without burning out and without getting tired of them. So I'm super excited about it because there's just 5. It should be super simple and we are going to do them together. So let's get into rule number 1 of 28 Cozy. So, rule number 1 is self care. It sounds easy. And to be honest, the entire rules of this 28 Cozy is going to be self care. But this particularly pertains to your morning and night routines. I think that the biggest form of self care that you can give yourself is waking up in the morning and getting ready and giving yourself like 15 minutes minimum of like a nighttime wind down. When you're getting ready, I know a lot of you probably work a 9 to 5 or go to school or have somewhere to be during the week. But for me, it's a big deal because I do work for myself and I'm usually like 90% of the time I'm working on other people's content and then 10% of the time it's my content. So I really focus heavily on my podcast before anything else, and then I will, like, try to do other things. So if I have more time, you usually can tell because 'cause I'm, like, posting more on socials, but when I'm, like, working a lot on other people's content, you usually can tell because I'm not as active on socials. So when I get ready in the morning, it's usually like a quick brush your teeth, put something like comfy on, usually leggings and a hoodie, and then go about my day. But for this, I actually want to get ready for the day. And even if it's cozy and sweats and like a hoodie or whatever, I'm like being intentional about what I'm putting on to like make it look good. So like it's like a cute cozy set and not just like let me find the nearest sweatpants and the nearest hoodie. And I've been like actually consistently wearing makeup for the last pretty much 2026, like the whole month of January. And even in December, I started like wearing a little bit more makeup. It only took me 30 years to get here because I used to not like ever care about makeup. But now it's just like a fun thing to do to like feel put together and to feel like, you're ready for the day. Like it's like I woke up, I got ready for the day, and now like if anybody comes to the door or I'm on FaceTime or I have a call with somebody, I look put together and I'm not like just whatever in my sweats and my hoodie? And then a part of this is also having a good skincare routine. Again, I'm 30. I have been like using things off and on. There are times where I've gotten like super harsh products because I thought that's what my skin needed. But I found out that that's not what my skin needed. And I needed to figure it out. And I've been like really um, researching skincare and uh, good things to like put on my skin that are nourishing and good for my skin and not super harsh. So having a good skincare routine, getting ready and getting unready is like a big thing and big self-care. Like that is going to change your mood so much just by doing those two things. And I guess also for your like getting unready and like your nighttime routine and having that like 15 minutes, if you're like super quick, like brush my hair, put my hair in a bonnet, I already took my makeup off, whatever, I would use like that next 10 minutes to like do something that's going to like wind you down, whether that's reading, journaling, or just like laying in bed and like just thinking about the day, whatever it is, like have at least 15 minutes of that. So that way you can really like start to unplug. I don't want the last thing that I see to be social media or my phone screen. I have gotten into a habit of using, or like I've been on my phone, but it's been like playing games on my phone. And I'm like, girl, you want to finish this book, or girl, you want to start journaling more, or girl, you actually are just tired. Like, don't grab the phone. So that's something for me that I'm working on in that self care. But the beauty of 28 Cozy is that you get to choose what you want to put into each thing. So the overall goal, or the overall rule, I guess, is to have that self care in the morning and in the evening. But what you put into those self care, whatever looks like self care for you in the morning and evening, that is what you're going to put into that. So rule number 2 is to journal. And I want to be honest because I did put journal and pray at one point when I was doing this, but journaling already, I mean, not journaling, sorry, prayer already is like a non negotiable for me. And I really do like personally pray throughout the day. So I didn't want to just put like pray and like make that like a habit. But if that's something that you feel like you have to put into this like, you know, 28 Cozy to um get into the habit of doing it, then go ahead. But the big rule is to journal. And I also separated the two because I would fall into like prayer journaling, but I actually just want to write out my day and my feelings. It's something that I want to like get into as a form of like documentation. So if like somebody ever were to write a book about me, or I were to write a book about me, I would have accurate information and I wouldn't be like, it wouldn't just be like somebody trying to make something up to make a story of it. And like simply, I just don't remember everything. Like jokes aside, like a book would be cool, but to be honest, I don't really care to have a book about my life. But the journals actually are that book and it is documentation. So it's like cool to like go back and just remember like a random thought or a random like time in your life. Like thinking about getting my wisdom teeth out, I didn't really get like super loopy. I think when I first came to or like woke up, I was saying stuff a lot to I think they said that I was saying wow a lot. But then when I like realized, like when I like stood up and I got up, I was like very aware of what happened, where I was, what I was doing. It was just like I was like very drowsy and very tired. Um but, like, to remember kind of, like, things that happened in that day and just kind of, like, remembering those, weird little moments, like, there was one thing that I said. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and, like, looking at my lips and being like, "Why did they not put chapstick on my crusty lips?" Like, I just remember I remember saying that. So there's, like, little things that happen throughout the day that if I were to, like, have journaled it all out, like, years n from now, I probably won't remember that I said, "Oh, they should have put chapstick on my lips," or whatever, like, something funny like that. But there's also bigger moments too that you just kind of, like, remember the big details that happened in the day and not, like, the little details, and I think that if you're journaling daily, you'll actually be able to get those little moments and those little memories back. There's even a journal that I started when I got married to my husband. Somebody gave me a notebook that said things to do before I do or something like that, like before we got married. And I never used it because I think I got it literally like the week before my wedding. So I was like, you know what? I think I want to use this notebook for my future kids. Like I want to write down things that I remember from like me and my husband's relationship and things that I've learned from our relationship and like write those things down. And I go to it like every year. I probably write one thing a year in there. But the things that like I go back and like I read, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember that really happening. And or it will like spark a memory that happened. So I don't know. I know that's like a lot of rambling for like journaling, but I think that journaling is actually something that's really, really good for you and really good for documentation of just your life and remembering your life. And if we are building a life that we actually want to be present for, why not remember where we came from or what joys we had in like the past that we want to keep in the future and things like that. So that's rule number 2 is to journal. Okay, and so rule number 3 is 25 minutes at least of movement. We've talked about health and wellness before on this podcast, but I wanted to make sure to give myself grace when it came to health and wellness. So personally, I have a workout plan where I'm working out 25 to 30 minutes 3 times a week, and it's usually a strength training workout. But on the other 4 days of the week, I don't want to get complacent and I don't want to feel like I didn't do enough that week. And to get into the routine of just loving to work out, like that's one of my goals this year is to be a person who actually loves to work out. Doing 25 minutes of movement every single day is actually going to help with that. And again, because this is curated to you, you can add what kind of movement that is. Personally, for me, I think going on a walk every single day is like easy. But instead of like, there's times where I'll go on a walk and it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes or just down the street or just around the block. But then there's other times where I'm like, I'm going 4 miles away. Like I'm walking so far. So I think having like a good 25-minute like route that I can do is going to help me stick to that 25-minute mark on the days that I don't have the 25 minute strength training workout. What the heck did I just say? Workouts. That was a result of my wisdom teeth. Sorry, that's I gave you the disclaimer before. But some things that you could do to like fit into this 25-minute movement workout is the walking. It could be a YouTube video. There are so many YouTube workout videos that truly, if people took it seriously and could hold themselves accountable, I feel like everybody could work out from their TV and we would not need gyms. However, I know that there are people that love gyms, so it's not like you can't go to the gym, but I'm not one of those people. I just feel kind of weird in there. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I have to be cautious of everybody. And yeah, if I had a home gym, that would be a whole different story. I think that I would use it a lot more, but maybe not. I don't know. I want a Peloton. I think that would be fun because I do want to get more into cardio as well. So I don't know. That's off topic. But yeah, things like that. YouTube videos, stretching. What else did I write on here? I think that's it. Walking, doing YouTube video, and stretching. But you can literally do whatever you want as long as it's at least 15 minutes. So if you do like, let's say, I know Grow with Joe, I've mentioned her before, and you probably have seen her. She has like workouts that are like 10 minutes long. So like say you did one of hers, but then later in the evening you were like after dinner you were like, okay, I need to go on a walk. You could like go on a 15-minute walk or whatever. So that's your 25 minutes and you can split it up. You can do whatever, but make sure that it's at least 25 minutes. And yeah, I think you'll be good after that. I know I will. And it will make me feel like I'm being consistent and it will make me feel like I am doing what I need to do to better my health. And it's super easy, super cozy. And I get to choose what I want to do that day. So sounds like a win to me. Rule number 4 is 30 minutes to an hour of hobbies. Okay. The rule is this, though, like underneath, this is the base of the rule is that it has to be at least 15 minutes at a time. Because, like, with the workout thing, you can walk for like 5 minutes 5 times a day. Okay. But for the hobby, this is really for you to unplug. And if you like only have 15 minutes in the morning to do a hobby, and then you're going to do the other 15 minutes when you get home from work or whatever the case is, that's okay. But it has to at least be 15 minutes because you're trying to unplug, you're trying to do something that you want, and it's like a non negotiable. Okay. That's what it is. It's non negotiable. So, what I would consider a hobby to do would be something that does not require your phone. I know a lot of times we are like trying to get away from screens and we're trying not to watch uh, TikTok and Instagram and all the things all the time. Hence why I think that YouTube is probably going to be one of the better platforms to be on if you're a content creator, because people can put this on the TV and kind of just like continue to do what they're doing throughout the day, or they can put it on their phone and just kind of like do whatever. They don't have to like sit down and like be engaged. So, anyways, that's just my 2 cents. But with the 30 minute to like an hour hobbies, the hobbies that I would include just don't include your phone. So if you or your TV really, but to be honest, I don't really care if you use the TV cuz some people their hobby is to binge watch TV and that's fine. I can get in those moods. But it would be things like playing on your Switch, playing The Sims, um coloring, painting, doing like um knitting hobby. I know they make like little knit kits, like where you can like make little things. Um, let's see what else. Reading, playing a game. Me and my husband have this game that's literally called The Game, and it's a 1 to 4 player game, I think. Maybe more players. But the fact that only one person has to be present to play the game is like really cool. I actually played it by myself the other day. So there's like other little things that you can do during these times to just be off of your phone and be off of social media. I think we are definitely going into an era where people are just really wanting to unplug and not be on so much. And that's okay. So let's just embrace it and fill that time with something else other than doom scrolling or uh, whatever else we do on social media these days. Okay, the fifth and final habit is to eat 3 healthy meals a day. And I don't know about you, but I will forget to eat or I will not eat if it's not already planned. And if it's not already planned and I get hungry, I then just go for whatever I can and whatever is quick. And usually, whatever is super quick is not very good for you. So, my suggestion would be to meal plan and meal prep the week before and make sure that you get all of your meals. There's also a lot of boxes that you can get, like, what's it called? I feel like I've seen it all the time and you've seen it all the time. Crazy. It's so crazy. When you see something all the time and then you can't think of it, I don't know. But it's like Thrive is one. There's one called Hungry Root. I'm seeing it in my head. Hello Fresh. Oh my gosh, that's what it is. So there's like all of these subscription boxes that you can get that will actually like meal plan basically for you. Like you can just be like, "Hey, this is what I like. This looks good. Send me this." And it will send you all the ingredients and you don't even have to go look for it. So there's things like that that you can do. I personally just go to the grocery store myself. Find it um easy once I got into like a routine and like knowing the things that we keep on a daily basis in our house. So that's just me. But knowing what I'm going to eat helps me not to forget what I'm going to eat and helps me not to forget to eat. So when I start to feel hungry, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to order something, or let me just like slap a piece of toast in my mouth with butter on it or whatever. Like it's actually nutritious and actually healthy. And if you do the 25-minute movement and you're eating 3 healthy meals a day, you are actually going to see results. I know that it might not seem like that because you're like, girl, it's only 25 minutes and I'm still eating the same amount of food. But when you get the right nutrition and you are doing the work to actually put movement in and get your body moving so you don't end up like broken basically and unhealthy, you're going to see a difference. And I think that's the beauty of this 28 cozy plan. It's curated to you. You can fit it around your schedule. It does not require a time like stamp, like I have to get this done by 1 p.m. or I have to do this by 2 p.m. or I have to do this at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like there's none of that. All you have to do is write down the rules and then in those rules, write down what you're going to do. I also want to preface that when you're doing the hobby, know that the hobby is supposed to be fun. And if you are not having fun because you are forcing the hobby, then you're missing the point. Don't do that. You want to find something and some things. You can change the hobby every single day. You can keep the same hobby for the full 28 days. You can do a hobby one day and then stare at the wall the next because you don't know what you want to do and you don't want to force yourself into something. It's curated to you. It's up to you. And that is our 28 cozy for the month of February. So I'm going to go over the rules one more time. The start date is February 1st. Again, the beauty of this is that you can really do this whenever it's supposed to be sustainable for you. It's supposed to be something that you can do daily. So if you are not listening to this on January 30th and you're listening to this at any other point in time, you can start today. You can do this today to get your life where you want it to be at a bare minimum. So, rule number 1, self-care. That is getting ready in the morning and having at least a 15-minute wind down at night. Rule number 2 is to journal. This is for documentation of your life and just for you to, remember things and remember little joys. And I guess if you want to remember the bad stuff too, or just like remembering how you overcame the bad stuff is better. I always want journaling to be a positive experience and not a negative experience. Number 3 is 25 minutes at least of movement. 4 is 30 minutes to an hour of hobbies. And 5 is to eat 3 healthy meals a day. And when we come back at the end of 2026 and we are glowed all the way up, glown. I feel like I just made that word up. Anyways, when we are glowed up at the end of the year, this is why. Because we decided to be intentional with the things that we do daily instead of like being super hard on ourselves. And I think, to be honest, I really feel like that's all it takes is intentionality. And if you've listened to this podcast at all in the last, I want to say 2 months, you've probably have heard me say intentionality or intentional, being intentional. It's a big word around here. So, anyways, that is it for today, you guys. I am so excited. This is the very last podcast episode of January of 2026. We are officially in the second month, which means that time is moving. January literally felt so long and so short at the same time. Usually, I would say January is like the longest month ever, and it literally never ends. It's like January is the entire year, and then all the months come within like 1 month after that. But, anyways, don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, do all the things for this podcast. It not only helps me know that you like this stuff, but it also helps push it out to other people who want to build a life that they want to be present for and they just haven't found us yet. So make sure to do all of those things. I will have all the links to where you can follow me everywhere down below, all the podcast platforms that this podcast is on. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube specifically because YouTube is going to have a lot more content this year. And I'm just really excited for that and ready to get into it. And the next YouTube video that I'm posting is a plan with me for February. And I'm going through all of the things that I'm using to plan with and new systems that I'm ready to work with and all the things. So you won't want to miss that. But until next time, you guys, bye everybody.